Hey everybody, it's Kate, the West Coast Paper Crafter. Let me show you how to make a very easy book fold, fun fold card. Let's get started. Okay, so here are all the supplies that I'm going to use to create this card. First thing, I've got a blueberry bushel card base. Now this is 4 1/4 by 11. It is scored at 4 1/4 and 5 1/2. I've got some designer series paper from the Otterly Adorable suite. This piece is 1 inch by 4 inches, and this piece is 4 inches by 4 inches. I do need an embossing folder, so I'm going to use the Soft Waves 3D folder. I've cut out some die cuts from the Otterly Amazing dies in Pretty Peacock and Old Olive. I have also used the same dies to cut out an otter from the designer series paper. I will be using some linen thread. I've cut out a piece of Pool Party for my sentiment with a Nested Essentials die, and I will be using Blueberry Bushel ink and a sentiment from the Cake Celebration stamp set. Let's start with creating the book fold of our card base. So I'm going to start out by gluing down the designer series paper that is 1 inch by 4 inches. I'm just adding a little bit of Tombow glue, and I'm just going to glue that down in between the fold of the card base and the 4 1/4 score line. Then I'm going to take my linen thread and I'm just going to wrap it around this front of my card a couple times and then tie it in a bow, or not, whatever you prefer. Once you get that bow tied and you have your thread just the way you like it, you're going to add some glue to the inside of the card in between the 5 1/2 and the 4 1/4 score line. And then you're going to fold that over and let that glue set. So I like to put some blocks on top of that fold just to let that glue dry and stick so my book fold stays together. While I'm letting my book fold dry, I'm just going to take my Blueberry Bushel ink and my sentiment, and I am going to stamp that on my Pool Party die cut. So using my sentiment piece as a guide, I'm just adding a little bit of glue to the back of the Pretty Peacock seaweed, and I'm going to glue that right down to the piece of designer series paper that I've already gone ahead and embossed with the 3D Waves embossing folder. Then I'm just going to take that sentiment piece, I put some dimensionals on the back, I'm going to pop that up just over top of my seaweed. I've added some dimensionals to the back of the otter, and I am going to pop him up on the card front as well. And I'm going to partially put part of him just on that sentiment piece, like so. Just going to add a little bit more seaweed. Now we're just going to glue down this embossed piece right to the front of our card, just to the right of that 4 1/4 inch score line. So I've just added a few of the rhinestone basic jewels to the front of the card, and on the inside I added a panel of basic white that's 4 by 4, simply because Blueberry Bushel is a very dark color, so I need something light to write on. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy this super simple book fold, fun fold.